said. She was like, I think if you wait long enough, like, you'll find a man.
Blessings to this creator and all of you out there who are saying these same things. I'm 54 years old and I came out at 15. I learned quickly, and I hope that you do as well. Family is not who your biological family is. Family is who you make it. You don't have to be around people who think they have a right to disapprove of you, who invalidate who you love or what your feelings are on anything, whether it's your spiritual belief, your sexuality, who you love. If you're honest with your family about who you are, and they don't want to know the true you, then that's on them. You don't have to be around them. You're not obligated to be there. It's not cruel to choose yourself and your truth over biological family. For me, family is who I make it, who I choose it to be, and it's never been about biology. I met my biological father when I was 21, and he was nice enough about it, but he said, what a waste. Basically like that I'm not going to have kids or marry a man. Your family wants to be able to communicate with you through a man and not through who you really are. They can't accept that they gave up their life or their dreams or who they really are. And so they're not going to be okay with you doing it. The good news is no one has to be okay with who you are and the life that you choose to live. You simply have to be strong enough to live it. But you can't thrive in your life unless you cut off the dead wood. So you remove people from your life. Like I said, I'm 54. It took me till I was 50 to remove my mother from my life. I came out to her at 16, accidentally. I was dating a 25-year-old woman that worked at my dad's job, and she found out. And then she hit on her because she wanted the woman to be attracted to her instead of me so that I wouldn't be gay. And later, my mom became a Jehovah's Witness, and it was a sin. And it was illegal. Then when it became legal, well, then it was still a sin. She uses her God to disapprove of me and who I love. I just agreed to disagree. I kind of let her stay in my field because I was an only child. Turned out I wasn't when I met my biological father, but I was raised an only child, and I felt responsible for my. She would say quite often my dad and I'd be better off if she was dead. I felt like I was responsible to keep her from committing suicide, so I was her emotional support. So at the age of 50, I finally cut her out of my life and was like, no contact, enough. I do not have to have someone in my life who I feel under constant duress and stress and trauma. I hope you do it a lot earlier. My grandmother died when I was 18, so I didn't really necessarily have that. On the biological side of my family, my grandma never had an issue with my lifestyle, but then again, I wasn't around her a lot. But she was, witch and very spiritual, and she didn't ever really seem to have a negative opinion of that. But as I said, my biological father, even nice enough about it, but what a waste, right? My father who raised me, I had a lesbian friend who had a brain tumor, and he said, well, that's because, of her lifestyle, right? These people that do horrible things, and they're just not good people, and they judge who you love as a sin, they're not going to change. It's up to you to cut them out of your life. And I hope you do so. All of you out there with this. Don't let family have access to you that constantly criticize you or put you down. And in stories like this, I understand loving your grandmother. Thing is that you have to love yourself more. And who you choose to allow to love you, your sacred goddess temple self, they deserve to be loved by you and to love you without the stigma of having to be around your family or your family's disapproval. It's a rite of passage, right? So marry a man, we have a kid, we get these rites of passage. And lesbians, the traditional rites of passage just weren't really there. And the acceptance into the broader family. But a lot of times when you look at like the big family unit, people are superficial. If anyone's really true about their passion or their writing or the things that they're into, they're not really accepted either. So in the cases of loving a woman, it's like, well, if you just wait, you'll love a man, right? So they really want you to be inauthentic. They want you to be somebody that you're not, so they feel better about who you are. And it really kills your soul and kills your spirit and your self-confidence. And it's really cruel to yourself. And I've done plenty of it. But after decades, I realized I could have never pleased them. I could never please them. I couldn't, if I'd have married a man, it wouldn't have been the right man. If I'd have married a man, my mom would have been like, well, he's not a Jehovah's Witness. Well, you both need to come to my church. It'll always be something. Be true to you. Love who you want. And, you know, like with the case of the grandma, you might want to be sweet and, you know, cut her out of your life sweetly. But it's like, you know, this is what I want for my life. And I can't come around when all your conversation is about me finding a man or my love life. I mean, do you want to talk about my photos, my art, my writing, my other passions, or is it just about me finding a man? Because that's their culture. And they put that on you. But if you can't steer the conversation to something different with your grandma, then you need to cut her out of your life. And siblings, adult children, parents, family, friends, you know, finding new family, finding your tribe is rooted in you being your authentic self. You can't be your authentic self if you're constantly under duress from family members' disapproval. So, you know, be confident in who you are. You know, I always thought I was bisexual. I came out at 15. I've never been in a relationship with a man. But I always thought, well, you know, maybe I am. I mean, you know, I do find men handsome, and I sometimes find, you know, an intimacy in my mind about men. I have been intimate with men, and it just was, I didn't like it, and it wasn't how it would be in my mind. It's just not there. It's just who I am. So saying, you know, you're bisexual, so that family would be like, okay, well, maybe she's just confused, or she's like, you know, and some women are truly bisexual. I had this friend in Florida once that said if she meets a man, she's with a man, she's monogamous with a man. She meets a woman, she's monogamous with a woman. Or, you know, with the other people are like they have to have a man and a woman in their life. The bottom line is that it's no big deal. What the big deal is letting people suppress who you truly are. Whether it's, you know, your art, photography, spirituality, anything about you. You know, the key is to be true to yourself and not let anyone else dampen that with their view of who you are, and not trying to be other people's versions of you. And if you're not really feeling bisexual, to not soften that to family and go, well, yeah, I'm bisexual, I'm still exploring it, so they feel better about you. They're never going to feel good about you. And even if you're with a man, it may not be the right man. So the key is to be true to yourself. And I hope that all you young'uns out there will realize it young. The younger, the better, to remove people from your life that are not supportive of who you know yourself to be. And to you to be true to who you are and love who you are, you don't need to push it on them. You don't need to force yourself to dinners where they're uncomfortable with you, or bring your partner over and force them to like your partner, or, you know, just go live your best happy life and be loved and love, and remove yourself from their life. And don't push your lifestyle onto them, but then don't make yourself accept their lifestyle and their version of you. Just walk away and be your true self and find your tribe and find your family. And blessings to the creator who made this video. I really hope that you are able to be your true self and be confident and be loved and know who you are. I mean, to explain to your grandma why you love women, that was beautiful. And how you relate to women more. And yeah, women are different. I really get women, and I love the depth, and I love their body, and I love their rhythm, and I love how women are on every level that I don't relate at all to men. And, you know, I'm not going to hang around with people who don't get it or who persecute me for it. I love you, gals. Bye for now.